Is it pool pump day? I think it's time to get that pump on there. Yeah, I know. Ooh, big boy stretches. Big boy stretches. Come on, let's get this thing opened up. Well, other than the big mess we just made, it's clear. That old pool medicine ball works every time. So now let me clean this freaking mess up. Well, it's finally come time to set up the pool again for this year. I had a couple delays here. I thought I had a leak. Ended up being I didn't have a leak. The pool was sinking down in the ground pretty bad, and I still had a high spot over here that drove me nuts. It was probably an inch or two higher over there. I have moved this pool twice now, but you can see we're just about up to the level over there where we need to start hooking the pump up. And so the cover's still working good. Winter pill did its job. Everything's good. We're gonna go ahead and hook this filter pump up. Y'all know I'm huge on the Intex pump. I still am. I've had that thing for 3 years. It works freaking awesome. Have no issues with it whatsoever. But I got a good friend who's gonna get one of these pools, and I told him I'd be glad to give him that pump and filter because I know that it works well. And so I'm the one to always try something different, and it just happened to be coincidentally that a company called AQUASTRONG reached out to me and they wanted me to show their pump and filter. So after going back and forth with them on deciding what size, once again, y'all know I like to go a little bigger on the pump and filter. So I got them to send me a pump and filter that we're gonna install over here on my fancy dancy table. We're gonna hook that up and we'll give her the old sprinkler test. If y'all remember the sprinkler video, the Intex pump and filter, she'd shoot water up probably 12 feet. We'll see what the AQUASTRONG's got, but also not gonna be using sand this time. We're gonna use some of their filter balls. I'm slightly skeptical. The sand works fine, but be lighter and easier to move around, and supposedly it works really well. So let's get this thing opened up and we're gonna see what we're working with. We got some pool filter balls. I honestly never even heard of these things, but looking at videos, people seem to like them. So we're gonna see what it does. So their shipping was real quick on this thing. The communication was real good. Nothing bad to say on that whatsoever. We got some instructions. 24-month limited warranty. That's pretty good. I would think that's on the pump. Got some fittings, some more fittings. Teflon tape, that's a nice touch. Appreciate that. Sand filter canister. AQUASTRONG. AQUASTRONG. 14-inch. If you want to put sand in it, use 50 pounds, so 1 50-pound bag. Filter balls, we can use 2.5 pounds of those. What did I get as far as that? I got 3.1 pounds, so we're good on that. I think those come in like 1.7, 2.5, or 1.7, 3 point something, 4 point something. So most people probably be good with the middle size. So that's a good deal. Got our valve goes on top. Got our stand, looking like a pump stand. Sand fill-in gizmo, and then the ring for the sand canister, sand filter housing. And a pump, baby. 2 3/4 hole power. Just got a little weight to her. Work table. Got our connection hose from the sand filter to the pump, I'd imagine. This is our piece that goes down in the center. So you can see, you're just gonna set that down in there, use this to center it, and that'll make sure that it's good and centered. So we're looking good there. All right, so set this off to the side for now. Go ahead and get this pump out. More Teflon tape. That's pretty sweet. Solid packaging. Here's your strainer. That was just kind of sitting in there. Make sure your hole's lined up with this hole. You'll feel it fit into place. O-ring. Alright, only goes one way. It's a tight fit, I can tell you that. It says this pump thing has a slider. It says pull that out till these 2 dots are able to be seen. So we got nuts with washers here. Go ahead and remove those like that. Leave a washer on each bolt. This has like insets, so make sure that stays in there. And we're gonna turn this around. Set this down on the bolt holes. Look just like that. Take a washer, take a nut. Take a washer, take a nut. All right, it's 1/2 inch. You want to make sure that those bolts are in those inset spots on the other side of this, because otherwise you'll break the plastic. As long as they're sitting up about the same height, you know you're good. This is plastic, so I wouldn't go like insane tight, but get it pretty snug. That's good. Keep this slid out. This has these pieces here. They're gonna fit down in those holes. I was trying to be nifty, it didn't really work. All right, it's easy enough, just pops into place. Right, now we're gonna take our sand filter. You see this nub right here? You wanna make sure that goes into that hole right there. Trust me, that's a lot harder to find when it's filled with sand. Ask me how I know. Your drain valve should be towards the outside. Nub goes in the hole. Just make sure all this is tight. Once again, this is all plastic, so I'm kind of telling myself here, but just don't go crazy over tightening. Just get it snug. All right, so now's where we'll take this. If you're using sand, obviously you want to go between the minimum and the maximum amount when you're filling sand. Try to take sand, go around the outside, kind of keep it even. You can pick the filter canister up and shake it around, but you want to try to get that pretty even. But either way, sand or filter balls, we're going to use the filter balls. Set that down in there. And this piece is very important, because if you're using sand, you'll end up spitting sand out all season long. You'll have a gritty pool bottom. So set that down in there. This will fit over the top, and then just kind of wiggle it around, make sure it's centered in there. So we're good and centered. That's perfect. So now we're going to add some filter balls. I've never done this, so we're going to see how it goes. So this is saying reduces chlorine smell and taste. I don't know I would think sand does a good job of that, but we'll see. Machine wash friendly. These things are so cheap, once it gets to the next year, I would probably just replace them, but that's up to you. Lighter weight than sand, I can believe that. That's good. Filters down to 3 to 5 microns. I don't know what sand does, but I would imagine that's pretty good. Less backwash required. I'm not a heavy backwasher, because I think you don't need to do it as often as people probably think. But this is 3.1 pounds. I guess we'll put about 3/4 of it in there, is what I'm thinking. The instructions say, open the filter, empty any debris. We got a clean brand new one, so we don't have to worry about that. If it's got sand in it previously, just take it, rinse it out, wash it all out. Fill the filter with filter balls. Close the filter. Don't backwash for at least 90 days. So we want those filter balls to kind of get loaded up, is what they're saying. They come vacuum sealed. So we're gonna open this and hopefully they don't go all over the place. You hear that air? You. I'm just gonna sit here and take them one by one and put them in there. So I'm not gonna sit here and make y'all watch me fill this up, but just take them out, make sure they're kind of wanting to expand. Fill them on up. I see y'all in a few. Some of them did still seem pretty compressed, so I just put them in this bag that the filter enclosure came in, and just put them in there and kind of shake them around like that. Make sure they're all poofed up. And then what I'm doing is just, because I'm extra, I go 2 there, and then I go 2 there, I go 2 there, and then I go 2 there, and then I go 2 there, and I just keep on going around, and I'm gonna get about 3/4 of them in there, see what we're looking like. All right, so I use just about that whole 3.1 pound bag. You can see that puts me right up to the max line. I mean, I honestly don't know if the same level applies to filter balls or sand, but that's what we're going with. Sure as heck ain't gonna be able to fill it all the way to the top, so I'm gonna go with that range. So we got those in there. Still got our cover on at the moment. So the next thing we're gonna do is take this cover off. Make sure you save this piece. Don't throw this away, because whether you want to change out filter balls or sand in the future, you'll need this, so keep this. And then we're going to put our valve on top, so let me get that opened up. That's some nice stuff. I mean, everything has weight to it. Yeah, I can see why you don't want to go too high, because this sits down in there pretty far, so I wouldn't go filling all the way up to the top. So your O-ring is going to be with this clamp piece, so go ahead and get that O-ring out of there. That goes down in that hole like that. So fit that down in there. Both sides are the same, so it doesn't matter up or down. So set it down in there. You have to work it on a little bit. It's got O-rings on the inside. Like, don't try to pull it back out now, because you pull the whole thing out and then you're gonna have to fight to get those balls, or good lord, if you have sand in there, you definitely ain't gonna be able to get it back. But once you put this on, that's it. Don't pull it out. You're just trying to push down on that inner O-ring in this. I had this 180 out. All right, so when you go to put this in, I honestly had it backwards the first time. Make sure your two outlets are facing the pump. It's gonna be a short run from the pump to the filter housing. So get that lined up like that, and then you should just have this waste side over here facing the outside. Now take your ring. It doesn't have an up or down. I'm putting the smooth part on the top. Go on and get that going around. And make sure she's sandwiching the top and the bottom. That's good. Check it around. All looks good. Just gonna take your screw. Like I said, make sure it's sandwiching top and bottom like that. You got a long screw, so it's easy to get it going. Get that started in there. I'm using a number 3 screwdriver. Big Daddy. Seems to work pretty well. We want to get this pretty dang tight. I'd say a step below Gorilla tight. So we want a nice snug fitment. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It'll tighten for a while, so just keep on going. We want it good and snug. All right, that's good and tight. Now the next thing we're gonna do is connect our hose from the pump to the filter. So this short hose right here, we need to put a couple of these adapters on. So they're calling this a 1.5 inch filter hose conversion kit. That's this bad boy right here. All right, so it's got an O-ring on there. Make sure that O-ring is there. Same thing down here. This adapter piece. Screw it in there. That's good. Make sure it's got your O-ring. So it says for this to use Teflon tape on these threaded spots. So whichever way you're going to be tightening something, that's how you want to wrap it, so it's naturally tightening the Teflon tape on as you're putting it on. So for this, we're going to wrap this way. But to get it started is kind of a pain. Probably 2 times around is good enough. So just like that. We're gonna take this hose, thread this one on so she's started. Make sure your O-ring's down. All right, I screwed up, so I'm gonna add this in now, and it'll be in the right spot for y'all. The top hole is for this hose to go to the pump. The bottom hole is to go to the pool. So I went on ahead and Teflon tape both sides. Go ahead and screw this in. O-ring should be on there. Now, get this one on. Before you get it real tight, just make sure that's on there good and level. It is. All right, that's good. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is pull this out. That's where our gauge is gonna go. And then in that hole right there is where your little plastic tube to kind of see what the water's looking like. It's called your transparent viewing window. Get some Teflon tape, wrap it around the gauge. Little small things like this, I really struggle with Teflon tape. That'll be good. Make sure your hole's open, which we are. All right, now we're gonna turn this into here. And get it lined up. I think that'll be good. I don't think we'd make it around a whole nother turn. All right, now we're gonna do the same with this. All right, so we got this wrapped up. This also has an O-ring. Sit that O-ring in there like that. And then turn this in. All right, it's good and snug. So you got your O-ring. Want to tie this up like usual. Make sure the valve on top is unlocked, not locked. So, counterclockwise. This hose from the pool is what goes here. O-ring is here. Make sure she's good and flush on there. Now I do want to note, these hoses are what came with my pool. These big hoses like this, 1.5 inch, they did not come with this filter and pump, so you'll need these, but they give you the adapters to make them work. All right, that's good. It's not pretty, but that'll work. I might space it out a little bit. So now our hose from the pool is going to come here. So now I'm going to put my hose protectors on. These really do help. So slide that on first. Take this hose and it's going to go to the pump. We'll need another adapter. All right, so I got another adapter. This is the 1.5 inch to 1.25, I think. I'm going to turn that in there. O-ring is on there. Now I'll take your hose from the two pool outputs, I call them. I guess it's input to the pump, output from the pool. I'm gonna leave it like that, but it'll do for now. I think we're about ready to start getting the rest of the water in the pool. All right, I think we're all hooked up. Now we just got to fill the water up high enough to fill everything up. One thing I will say, the Intex comes with basically a GFCI circuit breaker type, not circuit breaker, a GFCI canceling plug on it. This is just a straight up plug. This is not an option. You have to have this hooked up to a GFCI outlet. Otherwise, you got a major chance of electrocution. So you have to have a GFCI. No questions asked. So do not just plug this straight into the wall. If you got an extension cord, whatever, it has to be going to a GFCI outlet, and I would put a GFCI between this and your extension cord, or really you shouldn't use an extension cord. You should plug it straight into power. But either way, GFCI is required. So we're gonna fill this water up and let it run and see what happens. All right, so we're getting this pool level up pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fill the filter portion. So you gotta have everything lower than the level of your water. So I had to move mine off my table just for now. Now to make sure that you go ahead and bleed the air off your pump first, You just need to crack this cap open. So crack that open. As long as you got water, you're good. So just be ready for a mess there. Let's go on and just tighten that back down now. I don't even have mine plugged in yet. I don't need to. We're just trying to get the water into the filter area. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, the instructions aren't really clear on this, but we got everything lower. So if I go to backwash, I should get water spitting out of here. And once I get a good flow, either backwash or waste, we'll see which one works. But either way, we wanna fill this whole thing up. See that? Got a lot of air. Filling up, filling up, filling up. She's a filling. And we'll have a mess here in just a second. Trying to get this going before this daggone thunderstorm hits. Still filling. You want all the air out. It's a good way to smoke a pump. Have air in there. Should be getting close. It's gonna be a heavy Bocephus to pick back up, I'll tell you that right now. She's still filling. I'll just let this run so you can kind of get an idea how long it should take. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Now you can take a hose and run it out of here. I'm just not messing with it right now, but that would, you can send your water wherever you want. There we go. Broop. All right, so that's pretty good. Let it go on and flow a little bit. Now when we go to start the pump the first time, we'll probably start it on waste. Just want to make sure we get all the air out of there. Let's plug it up and see what happens. All right, nothing there yet. We're just gonna run it for a couple seconds on backwash and see what it does. All right, if you hear any cavitating, which will sound like grumbling in your pump, take the power off, cut it off. All right, well, it works. So we're backwashing. That's good. Sounds good. So now I'm gonna take it to filter and let's see what she does. All right, got water coming out the sprinkler, that's good. Sounds good. I mean, it's quiet. I don't see any leaks. Sounds strong. AQUASTRONG. Shouldn't even said that, but hey, it worked. It sounds good, it really does. It sounds really good. It's quiet. Good gracious, it's quiet. All right, I don't see any leaks. Let's see what this old sprinkler will do. That's on par with the Intex. Pretty good there. All right. Well, that ain't bad. Lord knows that's good because we need to get this baby filtering. Leveling in the pool doesn't look perfect, but I tell you, it's better than it was. Just a little lower over here. Well, actually, the water's a little lower. The level is a little higher. That's not terrible. All right. Well, that's the AQUASTRONG 14-inch pump install. 14-inch sand filter with its associated pump install. So we got some thundered talking, boy. So I'm probably gonna get away from this water, but I'm gonna do another video, let y'all know how it's working, how it filters things. You see the water's kind of funky right now. I gotta hook my skimmer up once I get the level good enough, but we'll see how she does. Well, we're 12 hours later. She's running good. Looking nice and level too. Happy about that. Skimmer's got some pretty solid pull on it. That's pretty awesome. I mean, my goodness. She's pulling. So that's a good sign. It's running good. Still got a good bit of cleaning to do, but hey, that's all part of it. Just trying to get her ready for the summer. We got a cool, crisp morning out here. I think that's a success. All right, that's the install. Y'all take it easy. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.